HPA. So if you've been on the blog or the Tumblr this week, you might know that we're doing this new thing where the blogs and the Tumblr and the YouTube all discuss a topic together each week. Something relative to our current campaign, and we really break it down and get some discourse going between the three platforms and with you guys. So you don't just have to hear me talk about this stuff, you can hear the opinions of our bloggers and our social mediaers and each other in the comments and the reblogs on all these places. So this week the discussion started out on our blog where Jennifer, inspired by an article in the LA Times about how International Women's Day was celebrated differently across the world, asked this. How did you spend International Women's Day? And do you think that there is and or can be any one issue that affects every woman in every culture, or is it truly always going to differ? As for the first question, to be honest, the extent of my celebration for International Women's Day was reblogging a parody of a Lady Gaga music video. It was actually a really awesome music video. You should all watch it after this link in the description box. No, I did actually notice that International Women's Day got a ton more coverage than I expected it to. It was trending worldwide on Twitter all day, and everywhere I turned there were articles about it and creative media being shared. It was actually really heartwarming to see the world embracing it like that. Having mostly celebrated by being on the internet brings up a good point that staffer Claudia pointed out in her Tumblr response this week, which was that I, like Claudia, and like most of you watching this, are living in privileged societies. We have computers, we have internet access, we have things like drinking water. Times might be tough, but we're not, or I'll stop speaking for you guys, I'm not enslaved or imprisoned or starving. I have the right to vote, I can go to school, I can basically do whatever the heck I want, even if I might still have to fight for some things every now and then. So in that way, the issues that affect women around the world are very different, and it shows in how International Women's Day was celebrated. In Egypt, women marched for their right to be included in the drafting of the new constitution, and in the United States, we gathered primarily online or at events to help women in other countries. However, as Claudia pointed out, no matter what level of injustice or discrimination women are facing around the world, they are still facing it. So long as the ultimate insult for a boy is being told he throws like a girl, so long as a man dressed as a woman is so much more unacceptable than a woman dressed as a man, because clearly being a woman is degrading and the ultimate shame, so long as this type of thinking pervades our global consciousness, women will not be equal. Women will be united by the assumptions, the expectations that come along with being a woman. To this effect, Claudia asked, what boxes do you think you're placed in? And because Claudia opened up the discussion to people of all genders, to anyone who resists being placed in a box, I will do the same. My answer is that growing up as a small, blonde, white girl in a privileged society, I've generally been assumed to be fragile and incompetent. At least until I open my mouth and take down anyone in my path with my sharp, biting words and fierce intellect. I put up a pretty unwavering fight against gender stereotypes, but nonetheless, I still on occasion get comments like, well, that's pretty good for a girl. Or I'm told that I can't or shouldn't do things because they're better suited for guys, or have my relatives' first question to me be whether I have a boyfriend, but their first question to my male cousins be about school or work. Unfortunately, I could go on for hours about all the ways I've been shoved into a box, but I'd rather hear from you. First, is there an issue that unites all women around the world? And second, in what ways have you been shoved into a box? And how do you fight it? Really quick, my Hunger Games update. I am stalled at chapter 18 of Mockingjay because I want to finish it all in one sitting, but I haven't had time to do that yet. However, I remain confident that I will meet my goal of finishing all the books before the movie comes out in the US next week. Also, if you didn't see, I filled in for Kelly on Wednesday. I put up a video of my trip to DC where I got a bunch of HPA staffers to do Alex Carpenter and Joy Graceffa's Hunger Games tag. So if you haven't seen that yet, you should go check it out. There are spoilers for the first Hunger Games book. Leave your answers to the questions I posed in the comments, and Julian, I will see you on Monday.